Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Best English Podcast. I'm Sophia, your host for today's English learning journey. If you're new here, know that the Best English Podcast uploads a brand new English learning video every single day. Our goal is to help you improve your English quickly and confidently. So make sure you don't miss out. In today's episode, you're going to boost not only your English listening and understanding, but also your speaking and fluency. This Best English Podcast lesson is packed with value. We're focusing on a very useful and practical topic: 75 English phrases for daily conversations. These English phrases aren't just common, they are essential for sounding more natural and fluent in your everyday life. Whether you're speaking with friends, ordering food, asking for help, or having small talk at work or school, these daily English phrases will give you the words and confidence you need to express yourself clearly. You'll also hear lots of practice examples throughout this episode. This way, you can learn how to use each phrase naturally in real situations. As Sophia from the Best English Podcast, I'll guide you through everything, step by step, with clear examples and practice exercises. So, by the end of this video, you'll feel more prepared and more confident in your daily English conversations. Before we dive into these 75 English phrases, make sure to subscribe to the Best English Podcast channel and hit the bell icon. Do this if you want more helpful English learning lessons like this one, delivered daily. All right, grab a pen and paper, and let's get started on improving your everyday English. Part 1. Essential Greetings and Responses. Let's begin our daily conversation phrases with one you'll hear almost every day. How's it going? This phrase is a friendly and informal way to ask someone how they are. It's often used instead of, "How are you?" And it sounds more relaxed and conversational. Imagine you see your friend at school or work. You can say, "Hey, how's it going?" And they might reply with, "Pretty good," or "Not bad." You can also respond with, "I'm doing well, thanks." Practice this English phrase often. Practice this phrase by using it when greeting friends or coworkers. For example, imagine you're entering the office in the morning. You see your colleague and say, "Hi, how's it going?" Colleague: "It's going well. How about you?" You've just started a natural conversation using a simple, effective English phrase. Another useful greeting for your daily English conversations is, "What's up?" This is a very casual greeting. It's often used between friends. It doesn't necessarily mean you want a long answer. Most people just reply with, "Not much," or "Just chilling." For example, you meet your friend at the mall and they say, "Hey, what's up?" You: "Not much, just doing some shopping." These everyday English phrases make you sound more natural. They show that you understand real spoken English. Part 2. Agreeing and confirming. Next, let's look at another important English phrase for agreeing. "That sounds good." You can use this phrase when you agree with someone's suggestion or idea. For instance, your friend says, "Let's meet at 7 for dinner." You can simply say, "That sounds good." It's a nice way to confirm that you like their idea. You can also say, "Sounds like a plan." This means the same thing. These responses show agreement in a friendly and positive way, crucial for your daily English conversation skills. Now, let's practice these daily phrases together in a short conversation. Imagine you and your friend are planning to hang out this weekend. You: "Hey, how's it going?" So, friend: "Pretty good. What's up?" You: "Not much. Want to catch a movie tonight?" Or, friend: "Sure, that sounds good." You: "Great. Let's meet at 6. Friend: "Sounds like a plan." This small conversation uses at least 4 common English phrases that you can apply in your real life every day. Remember, practice these for better English fluency. Part 3. Providing information and expressing uncertainty. Another very useful English phrase is, let me know. You use this when you want someone to give you information later. For example, if your friend is checking their schedule and you're not sure what time you'll meet, you can say, let me know what time works for you. It's polite and gives the other person space to respond when they can. You can also use this phrase at work. Imagine your coworker says they might be late for the meeting. You say, okay, let me know if you need me to cover for you. It shows flexibility and helpfulness. A great daily English phrase for professionalism. One more essential English phrase is, I'm not sure. It's okay not to know everything, and this phrase helps you communicate uncertainty clearly. For example, someone asks you, do you know where the meeting is? And you can say, I'm not sure. I think it's in room B. You can also say, let me check, if you want to find the answer. This makes you sound honest and cooperative. That's always good in both casual and professional English conversations. Let's put some of these 75 English phrases together in a new example. Imagine you're at work, and your manager asks if you can attend a meeting at 3 p.m. You're not sure about your schedule, so you reply, I'm not sure. Let me check my calendar and I'll let you know. This is a polite and professional way to handle the situation. Keep practicing these for better everyday English. Part 4. Handling apologies and understanding. Now let's talk about an important English phrase for apologies. No worries. This is a friendly way to say that's okay or don't worry about it. For example, someone says, sorry, I'm late. And you reply, no worries. It makes the conversation smooth and positive. You can also say, it's all good, in informal settings. These daily phrases help you maintain a friendly tone in your English conversations. Another commonly used English phrase is, that makes sense. You say this when something is clear or logical to you. For example, someone explains why they were late, and you reply, oh, that makes sense. It shows that you understand and accept the reason. It's a nice way to keep communication open and respectful. Use this often in your everyday English. Let's try these English phrases in a conversation. Imagine you're talking with your roommate who tells you they couldn't do the dishes because they had to stay late at work. You, no worries, that makes sense. I'll do them today and maybe you can help out tomorrow. In just a few sentences, you've shown understanding, kindness, and good communication using these common English phrases. Part 5. Short departures and offering help. One more very useful English phrase for quick departures is, I'll be right back. This is often used when you leave for a short time. For example, if you're on a call and need to grab something quickly, you can say, hold on, I'll be right back. It shows that you're coming back soon, and you're not ending the conversation. It's also polite and helpful when used with customers or coworkers. Also, try using these common English phrases for offering help. I got it, or I've got this. These phrases show that you're in control or willing to help. For example, your coworker drops some papers, and you say, don't worry, I got it. Or when your manager gives you a new task, you respond with confidence. I've got this. These English phrases add confidence and clarity to your daily conversations. Now, let's do another short conversation example to help you practice naturally. You're at a coffee shop and your friend is carrying 2 drinks in a bag. They almost drop something and you say, hey, I got it. Raus? Friend, thanks. B. Later, your phone rings and you say, I'll be right back. Ro. After your call, you return and say, "Sorry about that." Friend, no worries. Well, all of this feels like real conversation, short, natural, and friendly. These are great English phrases for your everyday English. Part 6. Making suggestions and acknowledging points. Let's now focus on a useful English phrase for making suggestions. Why don't we? You can use this when you're offering an idea. For example, you and your friend are bored and you say, "Why don't we go for a walk?" Or, "Why don't we order pizza tonight?" It's a soft, polite way to suggest something. You can also use it at work. "Why don't we finish the report first and then take a break?" It shows thoughtfulness and cooperation. A versatile daily English phrase. To make this more fun, imagine this conversation. You and your friend are sitting at home on a rainy day. You, "I'm bored." Friend, "Me too." You suggest, "Why don't we watch a movie or Oz?" Friend, "Great idea, that sounds good." No, oh. These English phrases fit perfectly into your everyday talk. They help keep the flow smooth and easy. Another excellent English phrase to learn is, "That's a good point." You use this when someone says something smart or helpful, and you want to acknowledge it. For example, in a discussion about what to do on the weekend, your friend says, "If we go early, we'll avoid traffic." You respond, "That's a good point. Let's leave around 8." This phrase makes your conversations respectful. It shows that you're listening carefully. Keep adding these to your daily conversation phrases. Part 7. Polite interruptions and offering help. Let's move ahead with another common and polite English phrase, "Excuse me." This phrase is extremely useful in many daily situations. You can use it to get someone's attention, to ask a question, or when you accidentally bump into someone. For example, if you're trying to get past someone in a crowded hallway, you can say, "Excuse me," in a gentle tone. Or if you want to ask a stranger for directions, you can start by saying, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the train station?" It's respectful and makes your interaction smoother in daily English conversations. Closely related to that is the phrase, "Sorry about that." This is a casual way to apologize for a small mistake or inconvenience. Imagine you forget to reply to someone's message or accidentally interrupt them. You can say, "Sorry about that," to acknowledge your mistake. People appreciate when you use simple, polite language. For example, you walk into a meeting a few minutes late. You say, "Sorry about that, the traffic was really bad today." It shows good manners and makes the other person feel respected. Practice these English phrases for better English fluency. Another phrase you can use daily is, "Can I help you?" It's commonly used in service settings, but you can also use it in daily life when someone looks confused or lost. If you see someone looking for something in a store or searching through papers in the office, you can say, "Can I help you?" It's a phrase that shows kindness and readiness to assist. Similarly, if you're working in customer service, saying, "Can I help you find something?" is both professional and polite. Now, let's bring these 75 English phrases together in a practical scene. You're walking through a store and you accidentally bump into someone. You quickly say, "Excuse me, sorry about that. So." They smile and say, "No problem." Then you see someone nearby who looks like they can't find something. You walk up and say, "Can I help you?" This short example uses 3 useful English phrases in one realistic situation. Exactly how you would use them in everyday English. Part 8. Showing interest and agreement. Let's look at another great English phrase. "That's interesting." You can use this when someone tells you something surprising, new, or thoughtful. For example, your friend tells you, I'm learning how to bake French bread. And you say, oh, that's interesting. It keeps the conversation going. It shows that you're engaged and paying attention. If you want to go deeper, you can follow up with, really? Tell me more. This adds depth to your interactions. It helps you build stronger relationships through English conversation. Now, let's practice a short conversation using both of those daily phrases. Your friend says, did you know cats can recognize their names but often choose to ignore you? You smile and say, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Your friend adds, yeah, I saw it in a documentary. You follow up with, really? Tell me more. These responses are simple, but they create a flow that keeps the talk alive. Keep improving your English listening and speaking practice with these. Next, we have a phrase that shows you agree with someone. Exactly. This one word can be very powerful. You use it when you want to show that you totally understand or share someone's opinion. For example, your coworker says, we really need to fix this problem before it gets worse. You nod and say, exactly. It shows that you're on the same page, and it helps build teamwork. You can also use absolutely or totally for the same purpose in casual situations. One more great English phrase is, that's the plan. You can say this when confirming an idea or arrangement. For example, your friend says, so we'll meet at 7 and have dinner first, right? You can reply, yep, that's the plan. It adds confidence to your conversation. It makes your communication more clear. These are perfect English phrases for daily conversation. Part 9. Expressing emotion and reliability. Now let's talk about an English phrase used to express surprise or concern. Oh no! This is a common reaction when something unexpected or bad happens. For example, your friend says, I missed my bus. And you respond, oh no, do you want me to give you a ride? Or someone says, I forgot my phone at the restaurant. And you say, oh no, that's not good. It's a short phrase, but it adds emotion and shows empathy. Let's create a scene for this daily English phrase. Your classmate says, I completely forgot we had a quiz today. Pray. You reply, oh no, are you okay? Do you want to review together for a bit? Ruh. This shows not only concern, but also a willingness to help. That's a great quality in any English conversation. Moving on, another important English phrase is, I'm on it. You use this when someone asks you to do something, and you want to show that you're starting immediately. It's especially useful at work or during group projects. For example, your boss says, can you send me that report by noon? You reply, I'm on it. It's professional, direct, and shows reliability. Add these to your everyday English vocabulary. Part 10. Transitions and Convenience. Now let's talk about another useful English phrase. By the way, this phrase is used to change the topic slightly or to add extra information. For example, you're talking to a friend about movies, and you suddenly remember something. You say, by the way, did you return my book? It's also helpful in professional emails or meetings. By the way, I'll be out of the office tomorrow. It allows you to introduce something new without sounding abrupt. Practice this for smoother daily English conversations. Practice time. You and your friend are chatting about weekend plans. You say, I might go hiking this Saturday. Or your friend says, sounds fun. By the way, do you have the charger I lent you? You reply, oh yeah, I do. I'll bring it tomorrow. Smooth, natural conversation made easy by short, effective English phrases. Let's now use no problem. It's another way to say you're welcome or don't worry about it. For example, someone says, thanks for helping me carry the groceries. You say, no problem. It's cheerful and positive. You can also say, anytime if you want to express that you're happy to help again in the future. These are great English phrases for daily conversation. Let's take it into a dialogue. Your neighbor says, "Thanks for watching my dog yesterday." You smile and say, "No problem. He was so cute." So, they say, "I really appreciate it." And you reply, "Anytime." Also, see how naturally that flows? Another helpful English phrase is, "take your time." You say this when you want to tell someone they don't need to hurry. For example, your friend is choosing a meal at a restaurant and is unsure. You say, "Take your time. We're not in a rush." It shows patience and kindness. You can also use it when someone is feeling nervous. For instance, "Take your time, just explain it when you're ready." It helps make people feel more comfortable. Now imagine this short scene. You're helping your cousin fill out an online form. She's struggling to type fast. You say, "No worries, take your time." She smiles and continues calmly. Your words just made her feel better and more relaxed. Master these daily conversation phrases for English fluency. Part 11. Reconnecting and quick responses. Let's also learn the English phrase, "let's catch up." This is often used when you want to reconnect with someone you haven't seen in a while. For example, you message an old friend and say, "Hey, it's been a while, let's catch up soon." It means you want to meet and talk about life. People often use it after time apart, maybe after a vacation, a busy work week, or even just after the weekend. Next, we have the phrase, "hang on." It's a short way to say, "wait a moment." You can say it when you're about to answer a call, find a document, or think before you respond. For example, someone asks, "Do you have that file?" You say, "Hang on, let me check." It's polite and very common in spoken English. A simple but effective daily English phrase. Let's practice in a conversation. Your friend says, "Do you know what time the movie starts?" You say, "Hang on, I'll check the app." Then you say, "It starts at 6:45. Simple, right? Just like how people talk in real life. These are great English phrases for daily conversation. Let's add, "sounds great," to your toolkit. It's a very positive response. It shows you're excited or happy about someone's idea. Your friend says, "Let's go for ice cream after dinner." And you reply, "Sounds great." Or someone says, "I'll pick you up at 5." And you say, "Sounds great. See you then." This phrase adds energy and warmth to your reply. You can pair it with other phrases too. Your coworker says, "Let's meet tomorrow to discuss the project." And you reply, "Sounds great. I'll bring the notes." Simple, smooth, and friendly. Finally, let's end this section with, "I can't wait." This is used when you're really looking forward to something. Your friend says, "The concert is this Friday." And you say, "I can't wait." It's full of excitement. It's a great English phrase to express enthusiasm. Another example, your colleague says, "Our vacation starts next week." And you say, "I know. I can't wait." This makes conversations more expressive and emotional. That helps in building better relationships. Remember these 75 English phrases. Part 12. Understanding, Agreement, and Managing Expectations. Let's continue exploring more useful English phrases that can help you sound natural and fluent in everyday English conversations. One very common phrase is, "That makes sense." This phrase is perfect when someone explains something to you, and you understand or agree with the explanation. For example, if a friend says, "I had to cancel the trip because of the weather," you can reply with, "Oh, that makes sense." It shows that you're listening carefully and that you understand their reason or point of view. It's respectful and encouraging. It helps the speaker feel heard and supported. Let's practice this with a small conversation. Your coworker says, "I wasn't at the meeting because I had another appointment." You respond, "Ah, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay." That's a polite and thoughtful reply. It keeps the conversation positive and smooth. Add this to your daily conversation phrases. Next, let's talk about the phrase, "I'm not sure." It's a simple and honest way to say that you don't know something or need time to think. For example, someone asks, "Do you know when the package will arrive?" And you say, "I'm not sure, but I can check." This makes your English sound real and natural. You don't have to know everything. It's okay to say you're unsure and then offer help. Another everyday English phrase is, "I guess so." This is a casual way to say that you agree, but maybe not very strongly. For example, your friend says, "It might rain tomorrow." And you reply, "I guess so." You're not totally sure, but you think it's possible. It's used when you want to agree a little bit without being too firm. It can also be a polite way to avoid an argument. Here's a short scene for practice. Your classmate says, "I think we'll have a quiz next week." 1. You say, "I guess so. The teacher did mention something about that." Then your classmate replies, "Let's review together, just in case." No, you answer, "That sounds good." This kind of real-life back and forth is where these English phrases become powerful tools for your English fluency. Part 13, Empathy, Clarification, and Acceptance. Now let's learn the English phrase, "That's too bad." You use this when someone tells you something unfortunate or disappointing. For example, your friend says, "I didn't get the job I wanted." And you reply, "Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that." It's a way to show empathy without going into a long explanation. It's short, but it shows you care. Pair that with another phrase, "I hope things get better." When someone is having a hard time, you can say, "That's too bad. I hope things get better soon." It brings comfort and shows support. Even when you can't fix the problem, use these daily English phrases for emotional connection. Let's practice with a little dialogue. Your friend says, "I was sick all weekend and missed the party." You reply, "That's too bad. I hope you're feeling better now." That's kind, supportive, and natural. This kind of language builds trust in relationships. Next up is, "That's a good point." You say this when someone makes a thoughtful or smart comment. For example, during a group discussion, someone says, "We should start earlier to avoid traffic." And you respond, "That's a good point." It shows that you're listening, understanding, and appreciating what others are saying. You can also use this in class or at work. If your colleague says, "We should review last month's data before we present," you can say, "That's a good point. Let's do that." It shows respect and helps teamwork. Now let's look at, "What do you mean?" This phrase helps when something is unclear. If someone says something confusing, you can politely ask, "What do you mean?" For example, your coworker says, "It's going to be tight," and you say, "What do you mean?" Are we short on time or resources? It helps clarify and avoid misunderstanding. A key English phrase for clear communication. Here's a realistic example. Your friend says, "It was kind of awkward." You reply, "What do you mean?" Then they explain, "Well, I didn't know anyone there, so I just stood alone." That's how you make a conversation deeper and clearer. Keep practicing these 75 English phrases for English fluency. Next phrase, "It doesn't matter." This is used when something is not important, or when you want to let go of a small issue. If someone says, "I think I gave you the wrong paper," and it's no big deal, you can say, it doesn't matter. It's relaxed and helps others feel at ease. Let's imagine you're at a cafe. You order coffee, but they give you tea instead. You think, that's okay, it doesn't matter, I'll drink it. Then you say to the server, no worries, it doesn't matter. This kind of positive attitude makes everyday life smoother and conversations more pleasant. Now let's learn. Let me think. You use this when you need a moment to consider something before answering. If someone says, do you want to go out or stay in tonight? And you're not sure, you can say, let me think. Maybe we can stay in and watch a movie. It's a phrase that gives you time, and it shows honesty, a very useful daily English phrase. Here's a practice conversation. Your friend asks, what should we cook for dinner? You say, let me think. How about pasta? Your friend agrees, that sounds perfect. Da, short, realistic, and friendly. That's how you build English fluency. Now let's try. It depends. This phrase is perfect when the answer to something can change based on the situation. For example, someone says, do you like working from home? And you say, it depends. If the internet is stable, then yes. If not, it's stressful. It adds variety to your answers. And it shows that you are thinking clearly. You can also use this in daily decisions. Someone asks, are you free this weekend? You reply, it depends on how much work I get done. See how flexible that is? It's a great English phrase to express different possibilities. Let's try, it's up to you. You can say this when you want someone else to make a decision. For example, your friend says, should we watch a comedy or a drama? You reply, it's up to you. I'm okay with either. It shows you're easygoing and open to suggestions. People like talking to someone who's flexible and not too controlling. Another great English phrase for daily conversation. Now we have, I'll be right back. This is helpful when you need to leave for a moment. But you want the person to know you're coming back. For example, you're at dinner and need to use the restroom. You say, excuse me, I'll be right back. It's polite and clear. You can also use this at work. You're in a meeting and need to grab a paper from another room. You say, hold on, I'll be right back with the report. That way, no one feels confused about where you went. Part 15. Hope, humor, and adaptability. Another useful English phrase is, you never know. You say this when something might happen, even if it seems unlikely. For example, someone says, I don't think I'll get that job. And you reply, you never know. They might love your application. It gives hope and keeps the mood light. Try using it in casual chat. Your friend says, I don't think I'll win the contest. You smile and say, hey, you never know. This small phrase can really lift someone's spirits. Now let's add, I'm just kidding. It's used to show that what you said was a joke. For example, you say to your friend, I ate all your cookies. Then you laugh and say, I'm just kidding. It's useful so people don't take you too seriously when you're joking. Another great English phrase for daily conversation. Another phrase for light conversation is, no way. This is an excited reaction to something surprising. For example, your friend says, I met a celebrity yesterday, and you respond, no way. That's amazing. It makes you sound lively and involved. Let's now include, I'm used to it. You say this when something that was hard at first is now easy or normal. For example, waking up early was tough, but now I'm used to it. It's a great way to express your adjustment to new situations. Lastly, for this section, let's look at, I don't feel like it. This means you don't want to do something right now. For example, your friend says, want to go out? And you reply, I don't feel like it today. maybe tomorrow. It's honest but still polite. Continue practicing these daily English phrases. Part 16. More practical phrases for daily English. Let's continue our journey with more practical English phrases. These can help you use English confidently in everyday English conversations. One very common phrase is, take your time. It's a polite way to tell someone that there's no rush. For example, if someone is searching for their wallet or finishing a message while you wait, you can say, take your time. It shows that you're patient and considerate. That always helps create a relaxed environment in conversation. It also makes others feel less pressured when they're doing something. You can use it in a situation like this. Your friend is deciding what to order at a restaurant and is taking a while. You smile and say, take your time. I haven't decided yet either. That makes the moment feel friendly instead of stressful. It's such a simple phrase, but it shows emotional intelligence. This is a crucial English phrase for daily conversation. Another good phrase is, I'm ready when you are. This phrase is especially helpful when you are waiting on someone to begin something, and you want them to know you're not in a hurry. It sounds polite and flexible. Imagine you're about to start a meeting or head out with a friend, and they're getting ready. You can say, I'm ready when you are. It's friendly and respectful. It shows that you're willing to wait and follow their lead. Now let's talk about the phrase, I can't wait. This is often used to express excitement about something that's going to happen. For example, you might say, I can't wait for the weekend, or I can't wait to see the movie tonight. It makes your emotions clear, and it helps people connect with your enthusiasm. It can also be a good conversation starter. Let's try a little practice. Your friend says, I got tickets for the concert. You say, oh wow, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to it all week. It creates positive energy, and it shows how engaged you are in the moment. Another useful phrase is, it's not a big deal. This is what you say when someone apologizes for something small or makes a mistake, and you want to let them know it's okay. For example, someone says, I forgot to bring your book, and you reply, that's okay, it's not a big deal, just bring it next time. This phrase makes you sound easygoing, and it helps avoid conflict. Let's take another example. Someone accidentally bumps into you in a hallway and says, sorry. You smile and say, it's not a big deal. That kind of response helps keep the mood positive and light. Master these 75 English phrases for English fluency. Part 17. Encouragement, updates, and health. Another great English phrase to use when you're encouraging someone is, you can do it. This short phrase is full of motivation. You might use it when someone is nervous about a presentation or trying something new. For instance, your friend says, I have an interview today and I'm so nervous. You say, you'll be great. You can do it. These little phrases can mean a lot, and they help people feel supported. Here's a short exercise. Imagine your friend says, I don't know if I'll pass this driving test. You respond, don't worry, you've practiced a lot. You can do it. These moments are where real friendships grow. Keep practicing your daily conversation phrases. Let's move on to the phrase, I'm on my way. It's used to tell someone you're heading toward them or the place you're meeting. For example, you get a message that says, are you coming? And you reply, yes, I'm on my way. It's a very natural and commonly used phrase in both casual and professional situations. You can also say it over the phone. Your boss calls and says, are you arriving soon? And you answer, yes, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 5 minutes. It keeps communication clear, and it shows that you're being responsible. Another helpful English phrase is, I'm not feeling well. This is used when you're sick or tired, and you want to express that politely instead of going into too much detail. This phrase helps you explain quickly. For example, if someone invites you out and you're not feeling good, you can say, "Thanks for inviting me, but I'm not feeling well today. Can we do it another time?" Let's practice this in a scene. A colleague asks, "Are you coming to lunch?" And you say, "I wish I could, but I'm not feeling well. I think I need to rest a bit." It's honest and respectful. You're taking care of yourself without being rude. These are essential daily English phrases. Part 18, Shopping, Connection, and General Responses. Now let's try, "I'm just looking." You use this when you go to a store and a salesperson offers help, but you're not ready to buy anything. You say, "Thanks, I'm just looking." It's polite and clear, and very common in everyday shopping experiences. For example, you walk into a clothing store and the salesperson says, "Can I help you find anything?" And you respond, "No, thank you, I'm just looking." It makes things easy for both of you. Here's another useful English phrase. Let's keep in touch. You can use this when you're saying goodbye to someone, and you want to stay connected. For example, if you meet someone at a workshop or travel together, and you want to stay in contact afterward, you can say, "It was great meeting you." Let's keep in touch. It's warm and friendly, and it opens the door to future communication. Now let's use "sounds great." This phrase is a friendly way to show agreement or enthusiasm. If someone says, "Let's meet at 3 o'clock," and you like the idea, you say, "Sounds great." It's simple, and it adds a positive tone to the conversation. Try using it whenever someone makes a suggestion you're happy with. Another phrase that adds warmth to your conversation is, "That's interesting." You can say this when someone tells you something new or unusual. It shows curiosity, and it keeps the conversation going. For example, if someone says, "I used to live in Japan," you respond, "Oh, that's interesting. What was it like?" That opens the door to deeper discussion. Here's one more English phrase. "Let me know." It means you want the person to tell you something later, when they find out or decide. For example, your friend says, "I might go to the gym tonight," and you say, "Let me know if you do, maybe I'll join you." It's open and helpful. We also have, "I'm just about to." This is used when you're going to do something very soon. For example, "I'm just about to leave," or "I'm just about to call you." It's helpful when you want to explain timing clearly. Now let's look at, "I'm in the middle of something." You use this when someone tries to get your attention, but you're busy. For instance, someone calls you and you're cooking a dinner. You say, "Can I call you back?" I'm in the middle of something. It's polite but clear. A simple and friendly phrase is, "I'll let you know." This one means you will give someone information later. For example, your coworker asks, "Will you be at the meeting tomorrow?" And you say, "I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know." It keeps the conversation open, and it shows responsibility. Another helpful phrase is, "You're welcome." It's the natural response when someone says thank you. Always say it with a smile. Someone says, "Thanks for helping me move." And you say, "You're welcome." I'm happy to help. Let's not forget, "I don't mind." You can use this when someone asks if something is okay with you. For example, "Do you mind if we sit by the window?" And you say, "I don't mind." It's a kind and flexible phrase that helps conversations feel smooth. Another practical phrase is, "That's enough." You say this when something has reached the limit. For example, if someone keeps turning up the volume, you can say, "That's enough. It's loud enough already." Or in a restaurant, No more dessert, that's enough for today. It helps set gentle boundaries. Let's now add, can I help you? This is something you say when you want to offer assistance. It could be at work, at home, or even when you see someone struggling with bags or directions. For example, you see someone looking lost and you say, "Excuse me, can I help you?" It's polite and generous. We'll also use be careful. This is useful in many situations. You say it when someone is doing something risky or when you want to show care. For example, be careful crossing the road, or be careful with that glass. It's fragile. It's short but filled with meaning. Let's continue with more common English phrases that you can use confidently. One very helpful phrase is, make yourself at home. This is something you say to a guest when they visit your house. It's a friendly and welcoming way to tell them to relax and feel comfortable. For example, your friend comes over and you say, "Come in." Make yourself at home. This makes people feel at ease. Conclusion: your confident English. Wow! We've just covered 75 incredibly useful English phrases for daily conversation. From friendly greetings to showing understanding, and from making suggestions to expressing feelings. These daily English phrases are your building blocks for sounding natural and fluent in everyday English. Remember, the key to mastering these isn't just listening, it's active practice. Repeat them out loud, use them in your daily thoughts, and try to incorporate them into your conversations whenever you get the chance. The more you use them, the more they'll become second nature. Your journey to speaking English confidently is a marathon, not a sprint. And every single English phrase you learn and use brings you closer to your goal. You are doing a fantastic job. Keep going. Outro music, warm, friendly, and slightly upbeat music fades in, then fades out. That's all for today's Best English Podcast, Episode 7. I truly hope these 75 English phrases empower you to speak with greater ease and confidence. If you found this English learning lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us know what content you love, and it helps more learners find the Best English Podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the Best English Podcast channel and hit that bell icon so you never miss a new daily English lesson. What was your favorite English phrase from today's list? Or which one are you excited to use first in your daily conversations? Let me know in the comments below. Your engagement helps our community grow. And if you know someone who's also learning English, please share this video with them. You can also find the Best English Podcast on all major podcast platforms. Thank you for learning everyday English with me, Sophia, today. And I'll see you in the next episode for more English listening and speaking practice.